After a particularly long and nasty winter, spring finally sprung, and folks, of course, planning and taking long-awaited vacations. So, how do you breeze through the terminal and get to your gate virtually stress-free, if that's possible? Travel guru Peter Greenberg, host of The Travel Detective, joins us this morning to share tips to get your vacation off to a great start. Good morning to you, Peter.
And good morning. Well, let's just start with getting through those security lines at the airport, because that's inevitable. You can't avoid it, but you can get around it somehow if you do the math in a sort of a contrarian way. I'll give you an example. You're going through the security line. You get there. There are 2 or 3 separate lines. Which one do you pick? Most people would say, oh, I'll pick the shortest line. No, you don't. It goes by the guys who are actually monitoring those computer monitors by the conveyor belt. So, for example, if you get there and you see one guy monitoring the computer and the line's out to Brazil, you still pick that line. Why? Because if you see the other line and there are 2 TSA agents there looking at that computer monitor, that means they're training one of those guys, and every single bag will be stopped. You might as well bring a book. You'll save at least 10 to 15 minutes if you do it that way, even if you're in the longer line.
Oh, wow. I've never paid attention to that. That's a really good tip there. But what about the airline lounges? Is there any way, and I've always wondered this, is there any way for you to gain admittance if you're not an elite flyer?
And the answer is yes, there is. If you look at the annual membership fees of these lounges, they can be pretty expensive, about $500 a year. But Citibank's now partnered with American Airlines. They have something called the Citi Executive Advantage Card. You get that thing, your membership now is waived. You have no fees. And here's the best part, and this is all the Admirals clubs, by the way, and because of the merger with American and US Air, you're talking about 60 clubs in the United States. Now you don't have to pay to get in. Here's the best part, though. You get that card, they even waive the checked baggage fees for not only you, but anybody traveling with you. So if you do the math, knowing how much those fees can be, you just basically paid for everything.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, we still have a little time left. Let me ask you, is there any other one little tip that can actually help you have a stress-free experience at the airport? What is something else that we can't avoid?
Absolutely. Yeah, well, this one, we all fall into the same trap. What do you do when you get to the airport? You look at the departure board. Why would you look at the departure board? It hasn't told the truth since 1947. The only reason why you look at the departure board is to find out what gate you're supposed to leave from, then go immediately and look down to the arrivals board and see what's coming to that gate. Now, if nothing's coming to that gate till next Tuesday, why would you go to that gate? That's the point where if you're in the lounge, you go right to the counter, get rebooked, get on the phone, call the airline, get protected on the flight, because otherwise, you'll be waiting for a boat that never sails. All
right, Peter, great tip there, especially that last one. So where can people go to get more information?
Well, on the Citi Executive Card, go to citi.com/open doors. For everything else, go to my website, petergreenberg.com.
Thanks, Peter. Take care.
You got it.
Stay with us. We're back in a moment.